the United States will cease all implementation of the non-binding Paris Accord.
That's an international agreement intended to combat global warming.
The backlash has turned into action.
If Washington's not going to do it, we will.
Climate change, climate change, climate change. Trump can't be bothered with this silly global warming problem. But U.S. mayors across the country know something that he doesn't know. It's happening, and they have to deal with it right now.
So to try and figure out how to save us all from environmental doom, a bunch of mayors have come to a conference in Miami. What better place to see what an underwater city might actually look like?
So they're basically just giving a tour of this little area to show how much they've had to raise it up because of climate change. I wouldn't be surprised if the ocean doesn't rise up and take us over in the middle of this event.
Problems with flooding and rising seas have gotten so bad here, the city has to literally raise the roads and has installed an elaborate pump system to drain excess water, a little project that's costing taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars.
I gotta be honest with you, it worries me. I mean, I live here, and it worries me to see the sea level rising, and I think what you've done is amazing, like lifting the city up. But how sustainable is that? I mean, the water is gonna keep rising up.
We believe, based on estimates, we've got a good 40, 50-year solution based on what we're doing right now. I believe in human ingenuity, and I know innovation will save the day.
It'll help when everybody starts to agree that climate change is a real thing.
Absolutely, no question about it.
All of this with the global warming and that, and a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay?
Considering that the president, and many in his party, think climate change is a hoax, mayors don't have much choice but to go it alone. That's why more than 350 mayors across the country have decided to stay in the Paris Climate Agreement, Trump or no Trump.
Now, you're in a red state, right? Oil and gas industry is very important in your state and in your city.
Yes.
Are Republicans on board with what you're trying to do? I mean, is this a partisan issue?
No, in my view, it is not. They're Republican mayors who signed on. Tell Mother Nature, I'm a Republican. Spare me. Mother Nature will show you. The weather is neither Democrat or Republican. Science is not Democrat or Republican.
We have helped lead the world in progress on climate action. We will not let this be undone by foolish political reasons.
When we think about sea rise, we have to do something. A lot of our coastland is our downtown area. So we have to really think about what do we do? Do we build protective walls around the city of Boston? Do we build islands around the city of Boston? Is there an opportunity? And when people hear this, they might laugh, but...
Is that on the table?
Well, it's something that we have to look at. As a city, you can't just focus on one issue. We have to be able to multitask, and this is part of that.
But the real question is, how do you pay for it? Turns out, fighting Mother Nature is not cheap.
How can you do what you want to do without money from the federal government?
We can't. We cannot do it right. We can't do it fast enough. We're racing against the clock every single day. Can we do everything with our own resources? No, that was never been true. If you think about everything that is our infrastructure, roads and bridges and railroads and everything, it's never been the city's responsibility to do all that. More and more, that's how the federal government's acting.
At the end of the day, the work for climate change and carbon reductions happens in cities and states. It doesn't happen in Washington. Washington sets policy, so it's really going to take us as mayors and governors and legislators and council people to make the changes.
We are a part of this game, and we have no choice but to play.
Mayors across the country are having to deal with climate change, and they're not getting any help from the federal government. But it's a problem they're going to have to tackle. Otherwise, this might be the only way to get around Miami Beach in about 15 years from now.